My beloved child, stop scrolling for a moment. This message did not find you by accident. Archangel Gabriel has been sent with a message that your heart needs to hear today. For some time now, you have been carrying questions that nobody around you can answer. You have smiled when others expected you to smile. You have stayed strong when others expected you to stay strong. But deep inside, there has been a quiet battle taking place. A battle between faith and doubt. A battle between hope and fear. A battle between believing that something beautiful is coming and wondering if anything will ever change. Gabriel says heaven has seen every moment of this struggle. Nothing about your journey has gone unnoticed. Not the tears you cried when nobody was watching. Not the prayers you whispered before falling asleep. Not the moments when you asked heaven for a sign. My beloved child, a sign is exactly why you are here. Because Gabriel says a season is ending. The waiting season. The confusion season. The season where it felt like every answer was delayed. You may not see the full picture yet, but movement has already begun behind the scenes. Doors are being prepared. Conversations are taking place. Opportunities are being aligned. And people who are connected to your destiny are being positioned closer to your path. Gabriel says the biggest mistake you can make right now is believing that nothing is happening. Because heaven is working even when your eyes cannot see it. And there is one specific blessing that has been quietly moving toward you for longer than you realize. But before it arrives, there is something Gabriel needs you to understand. Because what happens next depends on a truth that heaven is about to reveal. Archangel Gabriel says the reason you have felt so different lately is because your spirit has been sensing a change before your eyes could see it. Have you noticed it? The feeling that something is shifting. The feeling that an old chapter is slowly closing. The feeling that you are being prepared for something you cannot yet explain. This is not your imagination. Gabriel says heaven often prepares the heart before it reveals the blessing. Many people wait until they see proof before they believe. But faith works the opposite way. Faith believes first, then the evidence arrives. My beloved child, there have been moments recently when disappointment tried to convince you that your prayers were being ignored. A delay happened. A plan did not work out. A person disappointed you. An opportunity seemed to disappear. And for a moment, you wondered if heaven had forgotten about you. Gabriel says that what looked like rejection was actually protection. What looked like a closed door was actually redirection. What looked like a loss was preparing space for something greater. Because some things had to leave your life before the right things could enter. Heaven could see what you could not. The conversations, the hidden motives, the situations that would have hurt you later. And because of that, Gabriel says certain doors were closed on purpose. Not to punish you, but to protect your future. My beloved child, there is a blessing approaching that would not have fit into the old season you were living in. That is why preparation came first. And Gabriel says the signs of this new season are already beginning to appear. Small signs, quiet signs, signs that most people would overlook. But they are there. And in the next part, Gabriel reveals why a specific opportunity is drawing closer to you right now. And why heaven has been preparing it for much longer than you realize. My beloved child, Archangel Gabriel says there is a reason this message keeps appearing before you. Heaven is trying to prepare you for an opportunity that is much closer than you think. For a long time, you believed that progress would come through one big breakthrough, one dramatic moment, one life-changing event. But Gabriel says many miracles begin as small opportunities that people almost ignore. That is why you must pay attention during this season, because something important is approaching your path. It may arrive through a conversation, a message, a new connection, an unexpected invitation, or a door that opens when you least expect it. At first, it may not seem extraordinary, but Gabriel says, heaven often hides great blessings inside ordinary moments. My beloved child, the enemy wants you to focus only on what is missing, only on what has not happened yet, only on what seems delayed. Because if you focus on the delays, you may fail to recognize the opportunities standing right in front of you. Gabriel says your next chapter will require courage, not because danger is coming, but because growth is coming. And growth often asks you to step beyond familiar places, beyond old fears, beyond old limitations, beyond the stories you have been telling yourself about what is possible. Heaven is calling you higher, not because you are perfect, but because you are ready. You may not feel ready. You may still have doubts. You may still have questions. But Gabriel says readiness is not the absence of fear. Readiness is moving forward, even when faith is the only thing lighting the path. Something is changing behind the scenes right now. Pieces are coming together. Connections are being formed. And what once seemed impossible is becoming possible. But there is another truth Gabriel wants you to hear. A truth about the people around you and the role they will play in this next season of your life. And what heaven revealed may surprise you. My beloved child, Archangel Gabriel says, not everyone around you can go where heaven is taking you. This may be difficult to hear, but it is necessary. There are people who were meant to be part of one chapter of your story, but not the next. That does not mean they are bad people. It simply means their assignment in your life has been completed. For too long, you have been trying to carry relationships, expectations, and burdens that heaven never asked you to carry. You have worried about keeping everyone happy. You have worried about being accepted. You have worried about what others think of you. But Gabriel says your destiny cannot be controlled by the opinions of people who cannot see what heaven sees. My beloved child, there are individuals around you who genuinely support your growth. They celebrate your victories. They encourage your faith. They want to see you succeed. These are the people heaven is highlighting during this season. Pay attention to them. Value them. Pray for them, because they are part of the support system that heaven has placed around you. But there are also people who only understood the old version of you, the version that doubted yourself, the version that stayed small, the version that was afraid to step forward. And when they see you changing, they may not understand it. They may question it. They may even resist it. Gabriel says, do not allow their confusion to become your limitation. You are growing. You are healing. You are becoming the person heaven created you to be. And growth often makes some people uncomfortable. The next season is not just about receiving blessings. It is about becoming the person who can carry those blessings with wisdom, humility, and faith. That is why heaven has been teaching you patience. That is why certain lessons repeated themselves. That is why some delays happened. Nothing was wasted. Everything has been preparing you. And Gabriel says there is one final message about your future that heaven wants you to hear before this new season fully unfolds. The revelation is closer than you think. My beloved child, Archangel Gabriel says the future you have been praying for is already beginning to take shape. Even though you cannot see every detail, heaven can. And heaven is not worried. The fear that has been whispering to you lately is not telling you the truth. It says you are running out of time. It says nothing will change. It says your best days are behind you. But Gabriel says those thoughts do not come from heaven, because heaven sees possibilities where fear sees limitations. My beloved child, there are blessings being prepared that you have not yet imagined, people you have not yet met, opportunities you have not yet discovered, doors you have not yet walked through, and answers that are already on their way. The reason you have felt a strange mixture of anticipation and uncertainty is because your spirit senses that something is approaching, a shift, a breakthrough, a turning point. Gabriel says many of the prayers you thought were delayed were actually being developed behind the scenes. Heaven was arranging details you could not see, protecting you from outcomes that would not have served your future, guiding you away from paths that would have led to disappointment, and leading you towards something better. Do not compare your journey to anyone else's. Their timeline is not your timeline. Their purpose is not your purpose. The blessings prepared for you are unique to your path. That is why comparison has been stealing your peace. Gabriel says your focus must return to faith, not faith in people, not faith in circumstances, but faith in the one who sees the beginning and the end. Because when heaven makes a promise, heaven does not forget. What was spoken over your life still matters. What was destined for you still exists. And what heaven has planned cannot be permanently stopped by delays, mistakes, or setbacks. My beloved child, you are closer than you realize. Closer to understanding, closer to healing, closer to breakthrough, closer to the next chapter. And in the final message, Archangel Gabriel reveals the most important truth of all, the truth that could completely change the way you see your future from this day forward. My beloved child, if you have stayed with this message until now, it is because heaven wanted these final words to reach your heart. Archangel Gabriel says, this is not the time to give up. This is not the time to let fear make decisions for you. This is not the time to believe that your story is over, because your story is only beginning. For too long, you have measured your future by your current circumstances. You have looked at delays and assumed nothing was happening. You have looked at obstacles and assumed they would remain forever. You have looked at closed doors and believed there were no open ones. But heaven sees what you cannot see. The opportunities forming behind the scenes, the people being guided into your path, the prayers already moving toward their answers, the blessings already carrying your name. Gabriel says, there is a reason you survived every difficult season. There is a reason you made it through every disappointment. There is a reason you are still here. You were never abandoned. You were never forgotten. You were never walking alone. Even during the moments when heaven seemed silent, heaven was still working. Every lesson had a purpose. Every delay had a reason. Every challenge was preparing you for something greater. My beloved child, the next chapter of your life requires one thing above all else: faith. Not perfect faith, not fearless faith, simply the willingness to trust heaven one more day, one more step, one more prayer. Because miracles often arrive when people are closest to giving up. Gabriel says your breakthrough may be nearer than you think. Your healing may be nearer than you think. Your answer may be nearer than you think. And your future is brighter than fear has allowed you to believe. So today, release the worry, release the doubt, release the need to control every outcome, and place your trust in heaven, because what heaven has prepared for you is greater than anything you leave behind. My beloved child, walk forward with confidence, walk forward with hope, walk forward knowing that you are guided, protected, and deeply loved. And remember, The same heaven that brought you this message is still writing your story. Type Amen if you receive this message from Archangel Gabriel.